Good morning. It's Thursday, March 24th, and it's a Black Day. I'm Maggie McKnight.
And I'm Campbell Gavinian. Please stand for a pledge to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please sit for a moment of silence.
Okay. All community service hours for this school year must be submitted by Thursday, March 31st, which is next Thursday, to the main office. Community service documentation should include all appropriate signatures to be counted.
Do not park in the softball parking lot today. It is reserved for the members of the Marine Corps. They will be here with equipment and using the parking lot.
Here are your senior class updates. Some seniors still have not paid for their suckers. They will be unclear until Miss Lindsay gets the money.
All seniors in the senior show need to meet in Mr. Hillman's class every day this week for 5th period.
The senior show will be Saturday, March 26th at 7 o'clock.
The Waffle House dinner is on March 30th in the cafeteria from 5 to 7. Get your tickets from any senior or Miss Lindsay. And if a senior wants to sell suckers, to get a discount on prom's tickets, see Miss Lindsay to get your tickets to pre-sale.
Senior prom is April 23rd from 8 to 11 in the auxiliary gym.
Today's schedule: homeroom is 8 to 8:10. First period is 8:15 to 9. Second period is 9:05 to 9:50. Third period is 9:55 to 10:40. Fourth period is 10:45 to 11:30, and lunch is from 11:30 to 12. And now over to Mark Bearden for our host announcement.
Hi, my name is Mark Bearden, and I'm your current host of Vice President. My question to you today is, who is our newly elected Georgia HOSA officer? Keep in mind that this is a state officer, not a chapter officer. Come find me or go to the main office to submit your answer, and you'll be given a prize. Thank you.
In sports, in baseball action yesterday, the Hardball Jackets got a win over the Murray County Indians 15-8. Great game, boys.
And back over to Mark for Today in History.
Today in history, when Elvis Presley turned 18 on January the 8th, 1953, he fulfilled his patriotic duty and legal obligation to register his name with the Selective Service System, thereby making himself eligible for the draft. The Korean War was still underway at the time, but as a student in good standing at L.C. Humes High School in Memphis, Elvis received a student deferment that kept him from facing conscription during that conflict. Final months, Elvis would receive another deferment 4 years later when his draft number finally came up, but this time for a very different reason: to complete the filming of his third Hollywood movie, King Croyle. With the obligation fulfilled, Uncle Sam would wait no longer. On March the 24th, 1958, Elvis Presley was finally inducted, starting his day as the King of Rock and Roll, but ending it as a lowly buck private in the United States Army.
And having a birthday today is Georgia House, Bailey Wehunt, and Cecilia Swink. Happy birthday.
Have a terrific early release Thursday. Go Jackets!
When the phone call came that the heart was available, obviously we had this mad dash to get dressed because it's 1 a.m. in the morning. Obviously you have to think about the donor's family having a tragic event.
Right now, transplanting a human heart is still extremely difficult for 3 reasons. 1, the supply is very limited. Only a very small number of organ donors end up actually donating viable hearts, and not all of those make it into recipients. 2, you can't just swap out a heart. The heart and recipient have to be a good enough match. But the biggest problem is that you only have 6 hours to work with. The longer the heart is outside of the body, the riskier it is to implant that heart. And the reason these problems are such problems are because of this.
Despite all the advances we have made in the past 40 years in modern medicine, we still are dependent on a cooler and a time clock that we are working against. The concept of using a heart on a machine has been a intriguing and a fascinating subject.
But most people that see it have a definite emotional reaction. It looks like something you should never see. The organ care system is an integrated system that allows us to keep organs alive, beating and breathing between the donor and the recipient instead of storing them on ice.
Transmedics and the pioneers in the company have been working on this concept for 2 decades.
After the heart is removed from a donor, it's attached to what is called the organ care system, or OCS. It's kept warm, it's fed nutrients, it circulates blood, and it's essentially kept alive. Now there's no longer a race against the clock.
OCS allows us to take that variable out of the equation. A good illustration of this issue is the fact that on an annual basis, more than 30 or 40 hearts in Hawaii go unused. Because of the distance, these hearts cannot be transported to the mainland. This technology can potentially afford those hearts to the rest of the country and vice versa. Organ care system technology has the potential to revolutionize the way we practice solid organ transplantation.
Heart in a box is going to replace the old therapy. Nothing to do with ice. Ice is over.
This is clearly the coolest technology that you could ever hope to work for. Everybody in the company is so focused on enabling more patients to receive this gift of transplantation. We're highly motivated to make sure that this is successful.
That should be a happy feeling that the donor didn't completely die. That donor is now alive in me.